Nigeria isn't just a country, it's an entire universe of possibilities packed into West Africa. Imagine a land nestled between the Sahel's dry expanse in the north and the majestic Gulf of Guinea in the south. With borders touching Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Benin, it's a vibrant mosaic covering 923,769 square kilometers and hosting a whopping 220 million souls. What sets Nigeria aglow is its sheer potential. It's the powerhouse of Africa, proudly claiming the title of the continent's most populous nation and ranking 6th globally. But here's the kicker. Its growth is poised to skyrocket, painting a staggering picture of tomorrow. By 2050, this nation is set to outstrip the United States in population, bursting at over 400 million people. Fast forward to the tail end of this century, and Nigeria will be standing shoulder to shoulder with India, trailing closely as the world's second largest nation with a jaw-dropping 791 million inhabitants. The North, in particular, pulsates with life, boasting a fertility rate that'll make your jaw drop. 7 children per woman. It's a demographic explosion, painting a canvas where Nigeria will hold sway over half the world's young population by 2100. And get this, it'll have more Muslims and Christians than any other nation on earth. Nigeria is a living, breathing testament to the future, a canvas where dreams of population and potential intertwine, shaping a destiny that'll set global trends for centuries to come. With an economy that outshines the rest of West Africa combined, and a GDP ranking it among the world's top 31, Nigeria's not just a player, it's a titan. They call it the Giant of Africa for a reason. Its bustling population and economic might position it as a rising star in the global arena. Sure, there are hurdles, poverty, inequality, corruption, and other challenges, but Nigeria isn't a lost cause. It's a diamond waiting to be polished, bursting with untapped potential. Think about it. Nigeria's a regional force in Africa and a key player internationally. It's the founding pillar of the African Union, a proud member of various influential bodies like the UN, OPEC, and the British Commonwealth. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Sure, there's work to be done, but here's the kicker. Nigeria's poised for an epic transformation. With its colossal population and rich economic resources, it's not a stretch to imagine Nigeria evolving into a global superpower, the kind that could rival today's giants like China. Imagine what Nigeria could become. A beacon of political and economic influence that shapes the world's future. The potential is sky high, and the journey promises to be nothing short of spectacular. Nigeria's history spans ancient kingdoms, colonial rule by the British, and independence in 1960, marked by ethnic conflicts and the Nigerian Civil War. Post-war, the oil boom of the 1970s swelled revenues, but saw limited improvements in infrastructure and living standards. During the 1970s, Nigeria joined OPEC and generated huge revenues. Despite these revenues, the military government did little to improve the living standards of the population, and little was invested in infrastructure. As oil revenues fueled an increase in federal subsidies, the federal government became the subject of political struggle. In the late 1980s, Nigeria saw initial steps toward democratization, leading to a tumultuous period with disputed elections and the rise of General Sani Abacha. His regime was marked by human rights abuses. After Abacha's death in 1998, a new constitution heralded the Fourth Republic, paving the way for multi-party elections. Retired General Obasanjo emerged as president in 1999. Today, Nigeria operates as a federal republic, comprising 36 states and a federal capital territory, governed by a presidential system with checks and balances across executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Contemporary Nigeria faces ethnic and religious tensions among major groups like the Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. Between 1999 and 2004, over 10,000 people died in ethnic clashes, with continued unrest during the 2007 elections. Leaders like Goodluck Jonathan saw progress in fighting Ebola and economic growth, but struggled with issues like Boko Haram's violence and state corruption. Muhammadu Buhari, elected in 2015 and re-elected in 2019, aimed to combat corruption, though protests against police violence and the disbandment of SARS led to clashes in 2020. By 2022, strides were made in disbanding Boko Haram, with thousands surrendering. Nigeria's presidential elections follow a two-round system, requiring candidates to secure a majority and specific regional support. Since the end of military rule in 1999, the country has made strides in safeguarding democracy, reducing military influence. Yet, ethnic tensions, widespread corruption, and security concerns persist, impacting governance and daily life. Despite challenges, Nigeria boasts a skilled populace and significant diaspora success. However, crime remains prevalent, affecting everything from daily travel to the safety of its citizens. Nigeria's diverse religious landscape includes traditional beliefs alongside Islam, Protestantism, and Catholicism, shaping a multi-ethnic society. Political changes face hurdles due to this diversity, highlighted by a stalled bill seeking transparency in the oil industry for 2 decades. The oil sector, accounting for 95% of exports, drives the economy, but also breeds inequality, with most oil revenues benefiting a small elite. Irresponsible fiscal policies during oil booms led to grand projects, but also borrowing during low prices, impacting the economy. Environmental disasters stemming from oil exploitation, alongside failing refineries, add to the sector's challenges. Nigeria's vast population, surpassing even Russia's and set to exceed the USA's in 30 years, offers substantial economic potential akin to China and India's demographic advantages. Despite challenges like government control, hindering smaller enterprises, and inconsistent public services, the country's dynamic economy, especially in places like Lagos State, showcases promise. Yaba, Lagos is Nigeria's tech hub, akin to Silicon Valley, drawing global figures like Mark Zuckerberg. It hosts startups like Hotels.ng, ANGOLA, and CC Hub. Despite Yaba's tech boom, Nigeria's tech scene extends beyond Lagos, with companies like Outsource Global Technologies in Abuja and Kaduna. Nigerian startups cover diverse sectors, from high-tech to social issues like waste disposal, reflecting a blend of profit-making and social responsibility. Nigeria excels notably in fintech and telecommunications. Nigeria's most valuable export isn't oil, but its diaspora, numbering 5 million mainly in the UK and US, where nearly 1/3 hold college degrees. This educated group contributes more than remittances, which annually surpass foreign aid and may total up to $40 billion. Beyond financial support, they bring back Western expertise and technological insights, serving as a conduit for Nigeria's development. Nigeria's path to becoming a superpower hinges on overcoming challenges like ethnic unity, corruption, and economic restructuring in sectors such as oil, manufacturing, and agriculture. While democracy is a strength, the country has untapped potential in utilizing free market advantages, such as deregulation and foreign investment.